Joining us now from Capitol Hill, Georgia Congressman Doug Collins, Vice Chair of the Republican Conference. You're pretty passionate about getting this bill done, Congressman. Why?
Because it's what we promised. I mean, I think when you look at this, when you take about 7 years, this morning I was talking about this on the floor with Mr. McGovern, who I believe, I mean, if I was being hysterics like Mr. McGovern, if I was having to try and explain Obamacare and the failure that is absolutely made to the American people, I think what we found here is this, is that when we come together, we're focused on the American people. We're fixing the wrong that has been the last 7 years. 7 years ago, this was forced upon the American people, and every election since, they have said, this is not what we want. And you see the devastation across the country. We're getting ready to say that ends today. We're getting ready to say to the President and to the Senate, it's time to move this forward. So we're excited about it.
And I wondered, as I heard Congressman McGovern complaining about the procedure, I wondered, what he thought about the way it was passed originally without any Republican support and with a little bit of sleight of hand in the Senate.
Well, I love the selective amnesia of my friends across the aisle. That's fine. If that's the way they want to do it, I think I would, if I was them, I'd like to have amnesia over the last 7 years. Because what's happened is they put a health care plan to the American people that has now left people without health care. People with pre-existing conditions, cancer, other things where they could not keep the insurance that they were promised. These are the kind of promises that were broke to the American people. And if you want to know a hard argument to sell, is stand on the other side of the argument today and say, Obamacare is okay, let's keep it. I think the American people have seen through that argument. And we're going to see here in just a few minutes the vote that puts us back on a path of a health care system that is accessible and affordable to all Americans.
Well, somebody who seems to think Obamacare is okay is House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. She had this to say in a statement yesterday. She says, House Republicans are going to tattoo this moral monstrosity to their foreheads, and the American people will hold them accountable. Democrats seem to feel that this piece of legislation could cost Republicans the House. Could it?
Well, I think Nancy Pelosi has been tattooed on the Democratic Party for the last 10 years and shown what she does as a leader and what the policies from Obamacare have cost her. They cost her speakership. They cost her the many state legislatures. They cost her the presidency. They cost her the Senate. I think if Ms. Pelosi wants to continue down this line, she'll quit defending a failed health care system, and she'll understand that we have to put in priorities that actually take Americans and put them first. I think this is a vote in which people will see as this goes forward, and I love what was just being discussed previously with you and Chris Wallace about this. This is the way American democracy should work. We're going to pass it out of the House. It's going to go to the Senate. They're going to work on it. Remember, we're doing it under reconciliation. They only have to have 51 votes over there. And then we can converse it and send it to the President. This is a priority, and we're looking forward to getting it done starting here in just a few minutes.
There are still some Republicans, not quite clear how many, at least 16, who are not on board. What do you say to them to try to get their votes at the last minute?
Well, I think that the last minute, if each member has to vote their conscience in their district, and many of our districts are very close. We understand that. I think what they need to understand is all of our conference ran on the premise of getting rid of and replacing Obamacare. I think it's something that is still important. I think there's been a lot of lies that have been put forth by the Democrats. We heard a strew of lies today about pre-existing conditions and many other things. I think what they need to do is take care of their districts. We're going to continue to, and we're going to pass this vote here in just a few minutes, and we'll continue to work toward making sure Americans understand what we're doing and how it's going to help them in the future.
The Vice Chair of the Republican Conference in the House, Doug Collins, Congressman from Georgia. Thank you, sir. We'll see how the vote goes.
Y'all take care.